Thank you for joining us today for our webinar titled Power Up Your BI Dashboard with Power BI. Just a few housekeeping items. Everyone has been entered into the webinar in mute mode. So if you have a question, please enter it into the control panel through GoToWebinar, and we will address them at the end. The presentation should last no more than 45 minutes, and it'll give us some time for some Q&A. So with that, I would like to introduce our presenter today, Manish V. Manish leads our Microsoft practice in the UAE and has vast experience with business intelligence and analytics. He will lead us through Power BI and its powerful visualization features, and he has a lot of information to share, so we will provide you with a recording of this session for future reference at the end. And also there's just a quick survey at the end before you log out. If you wouldn't mind completing that, that would be great. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Manish.
Thanks, Jill. Good morning, everybody. So in today's presentation, I'm showing you the following agenda, starting with what is Power BI, architecture and components, Excel plus Power BI, which is like user choice to work with data, Power BI different types, the different features of Power BI, the mobile experience, and in detail, the Power BI features, how to connect and create your dashboards, some screenshot of the existing dashboards, custom visualization, creating R visuals, connecting to SAP or legacy systems, and some of the case studies. So let me begin with what is Power BI. Power BI is a cloud-based business analytics services that enables you to kind of view your data in a 360 degree. So you'll get a lot of insight with respect to your organization data in a collaborative way. It will also give you a different and rich user interface to view your data in different charts, in different formats. So very basic and small definition. Coming back to what are the components and how the architecture of Power BI is being designed. So having said this, Power BI allows you to connect to multiple data sources, which includes like Marketo, Salesforce, GitHubs, which can be your software as a service solutions. It will allow you to connect to your on-premise data, organizational content packs, which creates or which comes with the different services from the different service providers, the Azure services, Excel files, and from the Power BI desktop files. Now having said this, Power BI services includes content pack, live dashboards, visualizations, reports, data sets, natural language query, sharing and collaboration, data refresh. So all these are the kind of features which Power BI gives you to enhance your reporting capabilities, also called as an ad hoc report builder tool. So now how it can be considered as a powerful way to work with your data. Every organization or every users in an organization are familiar with Excel. So when we talk about Excel, it has the capability to build your data in a Power Pivot way or connects your data to the various respective Excel sheets, worksheets, and you can eventually create a lot of charts, visualize it. And how it is going to help you with Power BI? Excel is on-premise. When you talk about Power BI helps you to share your data with a lot of stakeholders. There's different departments in the same organization. You can eventually connect it to the mobility solutions, and the charts that you actually publish can be utilized or used or viewed from a mobile or tabs or any other external devices. So the platform is scalable, manageable, and that is what's called as trusted. So in collaboration with Excel and Power BI, the strength of reporting comes to its peak. Having said this, all the features that you say analyze in an Excel, which will allow you to search the data with respect to Power Query, analyze your data by developing your data model, and with its fast in-memory analytics with Power Pivot, help you to visualize your data from multiple ways. Bold and new interactive data visualization with Power View and Power Map. In collaboration with Office 365, you can share your data work views with on-premise and on-cloud based data sources, which needs to be published with Power BI sites. And the most important feature is like ask question with natural language query, and then mobility solution, which you can access, the user can access any charts through HTML5 and touch optimized applications. I'll be taking all these features in detail in my coming slides. Now, what all things that you need to get into a Power BI? You need to have an online account. You need to kind of register and get your online account to work on it. You'll be getting a username and a password. So when you sign in, and you will be getting into your home page, which is nothing but a Power BI sites. You can customize your Power BI homepage with the collection of multiple charts, multiple reports, multiple apps, multiple content packs, which will give you a idea of collaborating and collecting all the information of various sources. You will be having a following settings, that is options available, which is called as create content pack, view content pack, admin portals, manage gateways, settings, dev tools, and manage embedded codes. Now, Power BI has a different types. Now, what are those types are? Power BI desktop, Power BI gateways, and Power BI mobile, Power BI publishers for Excel, and analyze in Excel updates. Coming back to Power BI desktop. Now, Power BI desktop is an independent island. So you can eventually import the data from a wide variety of data sources, connect and build your own analytical model and reporting solution within a desktop. And it gives you a facility to connect it to the Cloud BI, Power BI site, and then publish all your reports over there. The Power BI gateways, now it acts as a bridge. Now the bridge, it allows you, an individual or an organization, to connect to various data sources, and in fact an individual can connect to the cloud and can work with the data from anywhere they are expecting or they are working from. The enterprise version, again, then it enables a department and to deploy and manage central gateways. So from anywhere in the world you could eventually have your own Power BI site, connect to it, can assign the users and leverage the Power BI gateway and access the data. Again, Power BI mobile applications allows you to connect to iPhones, iPad, Apple Watch, and Windows 10 devices. Power BI Publisher for Excel allows you to take snapshots of most important insights in Excel, like Power Pivot charts, and allow you to pin it to the dashboards in Power BI. I'll get in more details in the coming slides. So now when I say the Power BI sites, so this is how the complete architecture look like, where a user will be asked or will be allowed to create the different sites. So now it will be called as a My Power BI, and then usually you can eventually pin the different reports, the different modules, the different content packs with your site to get more information. You can develop the reports by using the shared queries. Now the shared queries are the fixed queries where you can just write down the queries and you can get the information. Now, in case if you want to make these queries a dynamic one to get the data, the facility is begun as a data refresh. Now, in this data refresh tab, the users is allowed and can actually create the jobs or schedule the jobs or the reports to refresh the data and can fetch the data in the sequential or in specified interval. So now it can be on cloud, it can be on-premise, or it can be on-premise database. So the data management gateway actually allows the user, or the Power BI user, to connect and fetch the data in a regular interval. It also has a data search facility where you can connect to the public data, a corporate data, and the shared queries with respect to shared queries. So it gives you a complete insight, portals and collaborations feel when you actually work with the search data. Coming to the mobile access, eventually it has lots and lots of features with iPhone mobiles, Android mobiles, and Windows 10 devices. To name it, like it comes with like giving you a report gallery. You can access the report gallery. It allows you to give you a fresh data offline. So in case whenever you come in contact with your internet or you come online, your data is refreshed without even doing any operations. So it does everything on its own. The Bing and R tiles are kind of open in a focus mode. So these are some of the features which eventually comes up with the mobile solutions. And of course, a very important one to have it is a notification. So whenever anybody, any users or any developer updates their data sets or reports and dashboards, updates with the new data, a notification goes to the registered users and they come to know that, okay, now I can get a latest data from my database or the latest numbers. It comes with a very intuitive and rich UI features, the way you want to design a very good user interface with very good and intuitive user experience so that the user feels easy to use the system. It also gives you a different way of like tiling, the way Microsoft eventually the patented you could say UI feature of tiling, which is very, very user friendly. So they kind of leverage it here as well, and everything that you see in a preview comes as a tiling features. Now a very, very important again feature is ask question of your data in natural language. So try to make it more interactive, where you can put up a question to your computer saying that, okay, show medal count sports and areas that medal in sports with France and China as tag bar chart. So system take this as your query and it returns you a graphical interface representation of your data based on that language. So this is a very important feature of Power BI. Now when we talk about analyze an Excel, analyze your data in an Excel, how Power BI is related. So what happens most of the time, there are Power users who would like to kind of see the data, feel the data and want to play around with the data to see the permutation and combinations. So once the report is been published in Power BI, there is a facility, an option provided called as analyze in Excel. The moment user selects this option, there are certain prerequisites which the user has to follow. So analyze in Excel is supported only for Microsoft Excel 2010 Service Pack 1 and later, and the Power Pivot table does not support the drag and drop aggregation of numeric fields. Okay, so your data set should have a predefined measures in Power BI when you actually do these operations. And there are group policies that actually prevent the required information or the required updates into an Excel. So they are unable to install the updates, and they call it as a check with your administrator. So eventually, once all these prerequisites are met and it's being installed, the user can eventually sign into the Power BI portal, enable their data connections. Now that data connection can be ODC or it can be Excel file or it can be anything, and then the moment your data connections is established and enabled, you will see the Power Pivot, the Power Table. and pivot table. So the user will get all the required fields from their model on the right hand side of the pane. You will get all the measures, you'll get all the fields, you'll get the filters that you want to select, drag and drop the respective measures on the reporting chart and get the desired report the way you want to. So this is way the user actually can play around with the data, can save the data in their local file and or share the data with the respective members of their team or the respective stakeholders to play around with the data. So it's all about, it becomes a kind of toy in the hands of the users who are actually well versed with data and can drag more and more information with respect to what you have. Now getting more in technical depth, we talked about content pack library. Okay, so there is a kind of facility available in Power BI where you can create a lot of content pack library by adding into your organization. So what actually is the content pack? Content pack is nothing but the set of services that you can eventually add and use from the different service providers. You can create your own portal by adding multiple services and you can leverage those with the content packs. And when we actually create the reports and data sets, those are actually involved in the content packs, and you can create multiple data sets for the different domains. Say for example, you want to have a content for retail, for HR, for finance, and you want to have different dashboards in that. So you can create those over here. So the way to create is very simple. You just have to choose the access content pack who can access the specific groups, which is nothing but the Active Directory users of your entire organization, or you can select the entire organization. You can give the title to your content pack, descriptions, and the access rights that you have provided, your admin has provided to the user. That user will be able to see only those reports and data sets which has been assigned to it. And once you are done with it, your content pack, and you add the services, your content pack is ready. When we say services, now these are the kind of services which are available with Power BI as a default services. Some of these services are the paid one. So based on the requirement, the organization can choose these services to be utilized for and can get them involved in your portals or access or leverage the facilities or features of those services. I'll take an example of Bing. So when you connect to the Bing, it will ask you, okay, tell me the kind of search terms that you want to track. You could give a stock exchange, you could give any of your stock which you are interested into, or you can put up your favorite sports if you want to have a news for those recursive, or you can put an Xbox or Power BI, whatever the terminology you want to search. You click on it and your portal, that's the home page, gets this facility. On the right hand side, if you see, the NCAA Final Four was the search that was made, and you get all the news about NCAA Final Four in your portal, direct portal. So you don't have to do any customized coding. It makes your life very simple, and on top of it, it makes your portal informative, just connecting to a service. And again, if you want to see a different search, the Blue Origin Rocket, eventually it gives you all the news related to the specific search. Now, when you come back with the content pack library, it comes with a lot of samples. When I say samples, most of the samples that are available are with respect to your domain. As I said, they create the data sets, and they create like customer profitability sample, human resources, IT spend analytics, analysis sample, and retail, and so on. So user can eventually look at these samples, look at these data sets, can take these as a kind of POC for their data, and can build by taking these samples as a template. So they can build their own dashboards using the same. This is how the sample look like when you configure it or you use it. So this is IT spend analytics, will give you a variance plan. On the left hand side, you can give you can actually place around your KPIs, which will give you an insight of health of your IT spend analytics, actual versus variance. And then on right hand side, you can usually see how your business units are doing with respect to your variance versus planned. So these dashboards are again based on your requirement. You can position different charts in a different way, the way you want it, and it's very easy to play around with. Now let's get into a detail of what Power BI can do. So when we get into a Power BI, you have to establish a connections. Those connections can be with multiple data sources, databases, reports that you generate, and from that reports you have to develop dashboards, publish to the web or SharePoint integration and or Power BI desktop. When we get into the get data, you will get an option to connect to your files or databases. So the files, when you connect, there are different multiple options. There can be a local file. The file can reside on OneDrive Business. It can reside on OneDrive Personal or a SharePoint team site. And you eventually can drive it, connect it to the respective data sources, respective reports, and then move ahead with a selection of what kind of reports that you want to build. And boom, the moment you connect it, you are actually into a Power BI chart, the similar look and feel of what you have seen in your Excel. So this is embedded within your cloud environment. You can play around with it, you can choose your fields, and you can build your reports. The interesting part of it, you can pin this report or a page to a dashboards. Now there are two ways to pin it. Either you can pin the entire worksheet, or either you can pin only the chart that you can see. So the moment when you pin it, it becomes available as a snapshot of the entire image. And in case if you want to do any changes in the data, the moment you have to come back to this report, you have to edit it, and again the pin the same. So that is one of the things that user has to do it on a regular interval to keep the data sets updated. The moment on the right hand side down below, down the column, you could see the different various data sets that you can connect to. The financial samples which is being imported, and IT spend analysis. So these are the data sets that you can actually import and connect to when you are building your report. And again, the same sample you could see. You can save the file, you can edit the report, you can refresh the report, and you can pin the live page. This is a dashboard. Now in case if a user wants to just select a single report, you can again, the moment you pin it to the dashboard and you select a single report, the single reports open up, it gets zoomed, and you can see the single report the way you want it to. The user can implement the filters on the dashboard level, on the report level, and the one level down the report, that is when you drill down the report. So you can have multiple filters applied. The moment you apply those filters, there will be a right pane that appears on the right hand side along with this, which allows the user to select the filters and can show the data with respect to the selected filters. Again, the financial sample DB, you can connect it, you can change the type of the charts on the fly. In the previous chart, you could see there was a bar chart which was straight, and in this screen, you could see the bar chart which is being kind of vertical. So now this has been changed on the fly. So it gives you an opportunity to select the charts on the fly, select your colors the way you want it to be, and then it becomes more dynamic. Having said this, once the report is ready, you can publish these reports to the web. Now what do you mean by web? This is already a cloud application. So you can publish this report in your portal. in any of the website that you want to publish this report into. So the steps to do it, the moment you click on publish it, it will ask you, or it will give you a message that you can generate a embedded code, but when you generate this, these features will be available for the public to view. Once you say publish, the code is being generated. You will get a Power BI URL along with the HTML code that needs to be pushed into your website. So the moment I copy this code into my website, I will be getting this preview. So you can see this was my SharePoint portal with home, communities, department, employees. This is an intranet portal, and the published report which I eventually generated through that code was pinned into this account. Again, you can eventually download this report to the Power BI and the Power BI gateways. The moment you publish it from your Power BI gives you an option eventually to connect to the cloud version. So desktop Power BI has a facility to publish your reports into the Power BI site. The moment you select the report, PBIX is an extension to the Power BI template, and eventually when the moment you select and publish, it will give you a success message. Once the success message is being given, you can actually select the data. If you want to create a different report, the moment you click on get data, it will ask you a different sources, and you can select the source from which you want to pull the data, and on the right hand side you could see there is a load which will actually load all of your data into the respective folders. For this, you need to establish a connection between the desktop Power BI and on cloud Power BI. You need to have an account and you need to sign up. If you are not signed up, it will prompt you to enter your login credentials, and once you do that, it will allow you to publish the data. It will give you a different view, and eventually you can pull down and generate the reports by putting it into a respective either row or data model relationship. You can pull out any of the data type here. Once the report is being built, you could see the report is being built now with respect to the products in an x-axis and sales value in a y-axis and stack bar chart. Once this is being done, you need to publish to the Power BI and you get a success message. Once you get all the Power BI reports that you have published, you eventually can see in a quick insight view. So you need not to go and search what has been published, but where you can just go into this quick insight, see all the published reports, and eventually you can just click on it and you can enter that report directly. And the database again report, you can enhance, you can enlarge, you can zoom it, and you can actually see the complete set of reports. The best part now comes with a custom visualization. Now Microsoft comes with their own templates, their own look and feel. Now there was a limitation where users were not able to put their own templates into the charts, and so this time the Power BI comes out with a custom visualization where user or any of the organization can have their own customized templates done, and or else they can go to the visual library and can select their own chart type or template for their respective data to be represented. Say for example, it comes with a strong search capability as well. Say for example, I want to showcase a heat map, and the heat map is not there in this templates. What I go and put my heat map as a search query in my query box, and the moment I search, I will get the table heat map template appearing down below. I select that template, and I have to go and download the visual which is available. It comes with a PBI VIZ file. With that extension, it means it is a custom visualization for Power BI. So it extends with Power BI visualization file. You add it, once you download it, you can see on the left hand side the visualization does not have a heat map. The moment you import it, after downloading you have to import it into your Power BI gallery. Once you import it, it comes with the visualization option. Select that option, drag it to your report, and with all the configuration that you need to set it up for your custom charts, it goes in and build your chart. So heat maps are nothing but your hierarchy charts which will give you a more area about where you are lacking and where you are doing good. So the more heat area will be dark, and the less area which is dark is kind of, it will tell you that you are safer over there. So to give you an example, the highest revenue generator will come as a, it all depends on how you want to set it up. The darker it may be, the more safer you are, or the lighter it may be, the more safer. So it can be actually customized. Now, a very hot topic that's running up is like creating R visuals in Power BI. So now what is R? R is nothing but a programming language written for statistician to do the statistical analysis. Now it's being used by SAS to generate their own predictive analytics. It's an open source software. Initially, it was supposed it was used in academics to kind of teach for biomedical and bioinformatic and financials. So when we say R, you have to kind of configure it. Now the R comes with an R scripts, which will kind of allow you to create your own data sets and define your own queries, which will generate your various algorithms. Now R has its inbuilt algorithms which come with like linear regression and which comes with a time series that will help you to kind of do a predictive analytics, mostly used in the retail sector. Then it comes with Carrot. Carrot is nothing but it is a package that is being developed to predefined for your predictive analytics. It comes with ggplot. It comes with SweetSpot. So various algorithms that are available within your R. R comes within the visualization. As you could see on the left hand side, there is an R. You select that, drag and drop, write down your R script within an editor, and you can generate your plot. You can generate your chart. So eventually it has a different interpretation of language. It will give you, say for example, if this example would have been into terms of your products versus the revenue generated by the sales in last 3 years, and you want to have a predictive series of how many products I'm going to sell in my coming year, based on that algorithm, the plots or time series, the charts can be developed. So that will give you more insight on R visualization. You can easily connect to SAP Business Objects, SAP HANA using Power BI. And it's a only very simple connector that is available through Power BI. Just have to connect it, and eventually will allow you to pull the data from SAP Business Objects. And the same can be utilized as an analytical model within your Power BI. Can use it as a Power Pivot and can perform all your operations that you want to do, just like you are connecting to an Excel. So the life becomes very simpler when you talk about multiple various data sources. Say it SAP, say it any Oracle, say it Power BI, say it SQL, Excel, and it eventually instant productivity you will get it with respect to Power BI. The optimized business performance is kind of captured. You don't have to kind of depend on anybody. The user can do it with very minimum efforts and with kind of ease. help that is available for Power BI. Having said this, when we build the kind of dashboards, eventually you could see there's a case study which tells you about a very, very dynamic dashboard built in for the customer profitability, how much profitable you are by selling the different products to the various customers. Now, what is on the left hand side, you could see the various KPIs available with the respective charts saying that gross margin with respect to percentage and with respect to the number of quarters that you are performing. On the right hand side in the middle segment, you could see the various executives. Those have been kind of contributing into this scorecard or generating the revenue, number of customers, number of products, and total gross margin. So eventually you could see the big map on the right hand side. It can be, you can drill down the data to the next level. You can click on it. The north, east, south, west on the right hand side, the top corner, you could see a map which is newly introduced, which is called as hierarchy. Heat map, it's the same example of a heat map where you can create the hierarchies. Each block represents its own region. So north region represents the blue block, south region in the red one. So you can have a clear-cut bifurcation of the data. The big map utilized down below shows you all the states in North America and how your business is being doing in that region. This is with respect to your gross margin. The moment I click, I want to have the number of products, my chart changes. So now this is for the product managers or the product owners from a different regions. So eventually it always also gives you a 3D view. On the right hand side, you could see a area map with a 3D view or various views. The bubble charts tells you about the revenue variance with respect to the budgets given. So it has all the combination of data that is being set up. Now the question comes, why not SSRS, or how it is different from SSRS versus Power BI, both being the Microsoft product. So having said this, SSRS has certain limitations which is being overcome by Power BI. Both are robust, both are good products, but Power BI being available on cloud will give you more leverage, user friendly, because then you get a straightforward options of your mean, like sum, average, minimum, statistical operation can be performed. It has in-memory kind of functionality available. So you could see only two things which is not available in SSRS with respect to Power BI. That is on the fly changing the chart and interactive cross-filtering and highlighting behavior, which is available in SSRS, but you have to do a custom coding for that. Power BI can be utilized as an ad hoc reporting tool, whereas SSRS is kind of a fixed reporting tool where you just publish a report, and in case if you want to change anything on top of that report, you will have to go back, you'll have to do a customized code, you have to change the certain parameters in the background and then update the query. So drill down facilities are available in both. Analysis services is being supported by both. Analysis services in a tabular format is being supported by both. So most of the things are being supported with respect to SSRS and Power BI. Licensing, how it works, it has a kind of Power BI professional version. You have to kind of purchase it. It comes with like $10 per user per month, and eventually it gets a data capacity limit of like 10 GB per user. Eventually it will give you all the options that we discussed now in this presentation. Integrated with Office 365, saying that it will kind of help you to data refresh. It will help you, you can put up your data refresh in a free version versus a purchase version. In a free version, the data refresh once in a day, and in a purchase version, you can actually refresh your data, the reporting data, up to 8 times per day. So eventually, it gives you more flexibility. On the data streaming, 1 million row per hour can be streamed, and eventually you can leverage those flexibility online with the purchase version. With respect to that, Now the collaborative environment with Power BI, create, publish visual environment comes with the professional version of the Power BI. With this, I conclude this presentation and open for question and answers.
Great, thanks Manish. A lot of great information. So if anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and put it in the panel to the right. And we do have one question. What version of SQL Server do I need to run this, or do I even need SQL Server?
Okay, so to answer that, the Power BI supports all versions of SQL Server. Being on cloud, it can connect to Azure, it can connect to on-premise, and it supports from 2005 onwards all the versions of SQL Server. You just need to have a gateway installed, so 2008 R2, and anything that above 2008 and R2 it supports.
Okay, great. And it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So with that, I'd like to thank you, Manish, for all the great information. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining us, and that will conclude our presentation. And please take a moment to complete the survey at the end. Have a great day.